Canto 3. As little boys listen to their mothers with dewdrop eyes, an Austrian sat down above his home, quite unlike the others, schoolmasters said, as now far from the town, mind-impelling soar, flame-licking fantasy, what momentary awe, when on the monastery rose Benedictine coat of arms, oh salient swastika, draping an artist in its charms, such enigmatic aura, alarum wildfires through the farms, Alwa needs a doctor. His son runs home, stunned and numb from crying. Adolf Hitler watched his father dying. The hemorrhage was flowing fast, the doctors did no good. Breathing its last, the body cast its soul to fiery flood. The father of a demon child, besotted by its blood. A century, death of innocence. A century of blood stench drags the breeze. Annals of empire quiver to a close, like some rogue priest bent double with disease, still quaking from those cataclysmic throes. 100 years my temper's train shall delve through all the blood and tears. 1912. The Kaiser calls a conference, large maps besprawling table. As Russia, with the funds of France, shall soon become full stable, I wish the borders to advance as prompt as is able. Dark clouds have gathered yon the Vistula. It must be war, and sooner the better. Faint rumbles on a stormy night, harsh whispers in the trees, as grainy light illumes the fight in us and slumps on knees. Her humped back murderer administering the final squeeze. Europe, 1912. Assassin. The crown prince peers out from the motorcade, his house of Habsburg gorging and conquest, whose tall, broad-chested soldiers on parade hold back the Slavic peasantry oppressed. Soft eyelids close, Flora fills her vision. A maiden sniffs her rose in the secret garden. She laughs and they laugh together, rows of roses grow and bud, reddening fields stretching forever, in a wave transformed to wood. Flaming crosses in the heather, names crudely inked in blood. An orphan girl chokes on her rose and dies, snakes slithing from the sockets of her eyes. Staggling slips from silent shadows, her stern lips firmly curled, his stern lips firmly curled. The hammer blows, the bullet glows, a blast of black doom hurled. A shot to slay an archduke, heard in echoes round the world. Sarajevo, June 28th, 1914. Imperial decree. There was a sense of something in the air, of great events, and him stood at their heart. Aye, he could feel the fever everywhere, though from that spirit his soul stood apart. Is this the stage when long-felt destiny could burst upon the age in perfect clarity? The audience splats glorious cheers at the declaration. Upon all sides the envious surround our precious nation, but we shall be victorious. Roaring congregation, swayed with sheer bliss, up went 1,000 hats, as if the daytime sky flew thick with bats. Young Adolf Hitler, dour-faced, short, falls gloating to his knees. In spacious thought this day long sought, the world has heard my pleas. Beside him stood a woman, gazing on him with unease. Munich, August 1st, 1914. All quiet on the Western Front. 'Twas just another day in the trenches. The stand-to bugler blew before the dawn. A man from heatless Z-catching wrenches. Slugs, frogs, bats, rats and beetles flee his yawn. Breakfast before, shelling begins at 8. Less murder, more the bore, men call the morning hate. Those walking with the Lord worshipped, others played or talked instead. The gaunt are by despair oft gripped, some stand up and lost their head. The stand-to cold as sunshine slipped in a bed of rosy red. The evening hate has cooled as phased the light. Both sides prepare patrols to pass the night. Some flick through books, some capture mice, some requisition rest. Some pick at lice, some lose at dice, some gaze out to the west, watching a crimson streak that might have issued from Christ's breast. Daisy! Passchendaele, Sallow soldiers splash through boot-sucking mud, clinging like poor relations, twice as fast it breeds, each shell hole nauseate with blood. Swollen black lads bolt upright in repast. Still falls the rain. An English pioneer slow walks the wooden vein. 2 German scouts appear. One blasted dead, aim switch sharp right. Max dodged the angry bullet. Thick slipping into slime and shat. Duck board tilts Charlie in it. Both surging in a mucky fight. Gasps gasping grit. Karma appears. The convertite goddess to part the duel. Men break in weariness. 2 warriors from fight withdrew. Exhausted breaths extrude. Soaked through and filthy too, both stalked off unpursued, walking from death's alliances, racked with disquietude. Flanders, November 1917. Armistice. The war is over, no more the killing, as wilted blooms droop through many nations. Peace mops the sodden brow when, God willing, all creeds and countries breed good relations. Ordered to yield, the Wehrmacht leave the trench behind a bitter field in the ecstatic French. Corporal Hitler struggled through pain, rushing by shell-shocked patience into an evening winter's rain, cursing enemy nations. Is all our sacrifice in vain, all our bleak privations? How could this be? He sensed it in his core. Herr Hitler was a Superman of war. Slumped by rain-swept roadside petered, sobbing for Germany, he's dejected and defeated, yet wunderbar country. He felt brave futures straining primus to his destiny. Pasewalk, November 1918. Homecoming. At the Douaumont fort, by sunset shades, a veteran lays a wreath to heal Verdun. Melancholic souls of fallen comrades escort him on the tracks to Briançon. 200 francs, 2 shirts, a suit and shoes, with every Frenchman's thanks for fighting off the blues. Click-clacked the slowly sloping train up through the Alpine passes. Attacked by shoals of driving rain, he wipes his misty glasses. At last, mon cœur, she's home again, light and glossy lasses, like flutes dribbling jubilant glucose, applauding nostrois of their handsome heroes. He heads for home, he sheds a tear, a gasp, c'est Jean-François, who, halting, cheering, jolts back beer-drenching, thirsting nectar. De faim, c'est ridicule, but où est là à toi? Baby boom. Charlie Sumner staggered down Lackey Road, hit Havelock's lock-in, a quick whiskey, then threw his crew 2 up, 2 down, tiptoed to pounce upon his wife, drunk and frisky. Get off! A clout. His silent smiles intrigue, Ben's 2 triumphant shout, we've won the blooming league! How rare it is to find true mate to share our meagre ration. Youths rush upstairs to celebrate, indulging perfect passion. Without a Johnny, for of late, babies are in fashion. He gasps as he sighs as his seed slips in. A cry, Rose rises, our Jack needs feeding. His wife away, some charabanc lets off a lovely boom. With barren pang, the clammy clang of battle claims the room. While friends that fell at Passchendaele wail, Charlie, through the gloom. Burnley, 1921.